Let me ask you something personal. Do you remember the last time you felt truly sharp, truly present, where names came easily, thoughts felt clear, and you could walk into a room and remember exactly why you were there? For a lot of people over 60, that feeling starts slipping away quietly, so quietly that you don't even notice at first. You chalk it up to a bad night's sleep, or stress, or just getting older. But what if I told you that one of the most overlooked reasons behind this mental fog has nothing to do with your brain at all? What if the answer was sitting in one of the most powerful muscle groups in your entire body? A group of muscles most people completely ignore after 60. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what you're about to hear changed the way thousands of people think about aging. And before this video is over, I'm going to show you a simple 10-second test you can do right now, in your chair, to see whether this applies to you. This isn't about fitness. It's not about how you look. It's about something far more important. It's about your independence, your sharpness, your quality of life. Let's talk about your glutes. Now, I know what you might be thinking. My glutes? Seriously? But give me a few minutes, because this is not the conversation you think it is. Most people, when they hear the word glutes, picture gym selfies and tight jeans. That's not what we're talking about here. Your glute muscles, the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus, are three of the most important muscles in your entire body. Not important for how you look, important for how you live. These muscles are responsible for nearly everything you do on your feet. Every time you stand up from a chair, your glutes are working. Every time you climb a step, your glutes are working. Every time you walk across a room, cross a street, carry groceries, or simply hold yourself upright without swaying, your glutes are doing the heavy lifting. Literally, they are the foundation of your movement, the anchor of your balance, the engine behind your independence. And here's the part that most people never hear. After the age of 60, these muscles begin to weaken faster than almost any other part of the body. Not because of some unavoidable disease, not because of some genetic fate, but because of something deceptively simple. We sit too much. Think about a typical day. You wake up, you sit for breakfast, you sit in the car, you sit at a desk or in front of a television, you sit for lunch, you sit again in the afternoon, you sit for dinner, and then you lie down to sleep. Your glutes, which were designed to be among the most active muscles in your body, spend most of their day doing absolutely nothing, and muscles that don't work begin to switch off. Scientists actually have a name for this. They call it gluteal amnesia. The muscle literally starts to forget its own job. And when that happens, the ripple effects reach much further than most people realize. Here's where things get really interesting. For decades, doctors and researchers treated the brain and the muscles as two completely separate systems. The brain was up there, doing brain things. The muscles were down here, doing muscle things. And never the two shall meet. But that picture has changed dramatically. Research over the last 20 years has revealed something remarkable. Your muscles and your brain are in constant, active conversation. They talk to each other through chemical messengers called myokines. These are substances released by your muscles every time they contract, every time they move. And these myokines don't just stay in your muscles. They travel through your bloodstream and reach your brain, where they appear to support healthy blood flow, reduce harmful inflammation, encourage the growth of new brain cells, and help protect existing ones. One of these substances is called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists sometimes describe it as fertilizer for the brain. It helps neurons grow. It helps them connect. It helps them survive. And here's the critical point: physical movement, particularly movement involving large muscle groups like your glutes, appears to be one of the most powerful natural triggers for BDNF release in the human brain. When you move, your brain gets fed. When you stop moving, that feeding slows down. Now, does this mean that weak glutes directly cause memory loss? No. Science doesn't work that simply, and anyone who tells you otherwise is oversimplifying. But what the research does show, consistently, and across dozens of studies around the world, is this. Older adults who maintain strength and stay physically active tend to show significantly better cognitive function, better memory, sharper attention, faster thinking, compared to those who are less active. And there's a very direct line between strong glutes and staying active. When your glutes weaken, movement becomes harder. Harder movement means less of it. Less movement means fewer of those chemical messengers reaching your brain. And over time, the brain that isn't being stimulated through movement begins to show the effects. This is not a small connection. This is one of the most important relationships in the entire science of healthy aging. Let me tell you about something else that makes this even more urgent. Most people don't notice muscle weakness. Not at first. It happens so slowly, so gradually, that it starts to feel completely normal. You stop taking the stairs and you tell yourself it's just because the elevator is faster. You hold the railing a little tighter and you tell yourself it's just being careful. You need a moment to gather yourself before standing up, and you tell yourself everybody does that. Meanwhile, month by month, the strength is quietly leaving, and you're moving a little less, and then a little less than that. By the time someone actually notices, by the time there's a fall, or a doctor raises a concern, or a family member says something, the decline has already been happening for years. That's the silent nature of this problem. It doesn't announce itself. It just slowly changes what feels normal to you. And here's what makes it especially important to catch early. The brain changes that come with reduced movement also tend to be gradual. The foggy mornings, the moments where a word won't come, the feeling that things you used to remember easily now take longer to retrieve. These things don't usually happen overnight. They creep in. And because they creep in, people assume they're just part of aging. Sometimes they are. But sometimes they're a signal that your body isn't moving the way it needs to. So let's do that self-check I promised you. Find a sturdy chair. A dining chair is perfect. Push it against a wall if you want extra stability. Sit all the way back in it. Feet flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart. Now fold your arms across your chest and stand up, then slowly sit back down. That's it. Simple. But here's what I want you to pay attention to. Did you push off with your hands? Many people reach for the armrests or push off their thighs without even thinking about it. That's a sign that your legs, and specifically your glutes, may not be generating the strength they should. Did you rock forward multiple times before you could actually stand? One gentle lean forward is normal. Repeated rocking suggests your body is searching for momentum to compensate for muscular weakness. Did you feel shaky or unstable when you reached the standing position? Your glutes and surrounding muscles are major contributors to your stability when upright. Weakness there can make standing feel uncertain. Did you feel like your knees were doing all the work? Healthy movement from a chair should involve the entire lower body working together. If your knees are screaming but your backside feels nothing, that's an imbalance worth noticing. Now I want you to try one more thing, if you're comfortable. Stand near a wall or countertop for support. Shift your weight onto one foot. Now slowly lift the other foot just a few inches off the ground. Hold it. Can you hold it steadily for 10 seconds without gripping tightly for support? Or does your body immediately begin to sway? Balance like this depends heavily on the glutes and the muscles around your hips. If this is difficult, that's useful information. I want to be absolutely clear. These are not medical tests. They are not diagnoses. They are observations, a way for you to check in with your own body and notice things you might have been overlooking. If what you just experienced concerned you, please speak with your doctor or a physical therapist. They can give you a proper evaluation and guide you safely. Now, let's talk about what strong glutes actually do for your life, because this goes much further than you might expect. Strong glutes protect your knees. When your glutes are doing their job, they absorb a significant portion of the load that would otherwise fall on your knee joints. Weak glutes push that load forward, and the knees pay the price. This is one reason why knee pain is so common in older adults, and why strengthening the glutes can sometimes reduce that pain dramatically. Strong glutes protect your lower back. Your glutes and your lower back are in a constant balancing act. When the glutes weaken, The lower back muscles compensate and get overworked. Chronic low back pain in older adults is very often, not always, but very often, connected to weak glutes. Strong glutes protect your hips. Hip fractures are one of the most serious injuries a person over 65 can experience. Recovery is long, complications are serious, and the impact on independence can be permanent. Strong glutes help stabilize the hip joint and reduce the risk of the kind of falls that cause those fractures. Strong glutes protect your posture. Without strong glutes anchoring your pelvis, the pelvis tends to tilt. That tilt changes everything above it: the curve of your lower spine, the position of your shoulders, the angle of your neck. Poor posture from weak glutes contributes to pain, to fatigue, and to a stooped appearance that many people associate with aging, but which is actually at least partly preventable. And perhaps most importantly for our conversation today, strong glutes make it possible to stay active. They are the foundation that allows you to walk, to exercise, to do all the things that send those beneficial chemical messengers to your brain. You can't build brain health directly, but you can build the foundation that supports it. And strong glutes are a huge part of that foundation. So what can you actually do about this? I want to give you something practical, something you can start today, not tomorrow, not after you go to the gym. Today, the first thing is the simplest. Sit down and stand back up. Do it slowly and deliberately. Lower yourself into a chair with control. Don't drop into it. Rise from the chair with control. Don't fling yourself up. Do this 10 times in a row, slowly, and you have just done one of the most effective glute strengthening exercises available to anyone of any fitness level. You can do this multiple times a day. Every time you get up to use the bathroom or get a glass of water, you can turn it into 3 deliberate sit-to-stands. It adds up faster than you think. The second thing is walking, but walking with intention. Many people walk, but they shuffle. They take small steps. They look at the ground. They never fully extend their stride. When you walk with a full, confident stride and push off through your heel, you engage your glutes far more than a shuffling walk does. You don't need to walk far. You don't need to walk fast. You need to walk with your whole body. 10 minutes of intentional walking is worth far more than 30 minutes of shuffling. The third thing is a hip bridge, and I encourage you to talk to your doctor or physical therapist before trying this if you have any back, hip, or knee concerns. But for many people, this is a safe and powerful exercise. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Press your feet into the floor and lift your hips up toward the ceiling, squeezing your glutes at the top. Hold for 2 seconds. Lower slowly. Repeat. This directly targets the gluteus maximus, the largest and most powerful of your glute muscles, without putting any strain on your joints. The fourth thing costs nothing and requires no exercise at all. Break up your sitting. Set a timer if you need to. Every 45 minutes to an hour, stand up. Walk to the kitchen. Walk to the window. Walk to the end of the hallway and back. Your muscles do not need a gym. They need a reason to work. Giving them regular breaks from sitting is one of the most evidence-supported things you can do for your long-term health, and it costs you absolutely nothing. Now, before I close, I want to address something important. Everything I've shared today is based on real research. The connection between physical activity, muscle health, and cognitive function is not fringe science. It is not a wellness fad. It is one of the most robust findings in the entire field of aging research. But real science is also humble. We don't yet have a study that proves a direct causal link between glute strength specifically and memory specifically. What we have is a powerful chain of evidence. Muscle movement releases beneficial substances. Those substances support brain health. Glutes are among the largest muscles in the body. Weak glutes lead to less movement. Less movement means fewer of those beneficial substances, and less of those substances, over time, appears to matter for the brain. The chain is solid, even if every individual link is still being studied. What this means practically is this: you don't need to wait for more research. The case for staying strong and staying active is already overwhelmingly made. And your glutes, these powerful, often forgotten muscles, are one of the most important places to start. You are not too old for this. I want to say that clearly, because I know many people watching this might wonder whether it's too late to make a difference. The research says it isn't. Studies have found measurable improvements in both muscle strength and cognitive function in people in their 70s, 80s, and even beyond. Simply from introducing regular movement, your body is not finished. It is waiting for a reason to respond. Take care of these muscles. Walk when you can. Stand when you've been sitting. Move with intention, because the brain you're trying to protect is listening to every signal your body sends it, and the signal your glutes send, when they're strong, when they're active, when they're doing the job they were designed to do, is one of the most powerful signals for healthy aging that science has found. If this gave you something to think about, share it with someone you care about. A spouse, a sibling, a friend who might benefit from hearing this. And if you notice something during that chair test that concerned you, please do reach out to your doctor. There is a lot that can be done. The first step is simply paying attention. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.